Hello everybody, I'm in the car and because I just took my daughter to Dutch lessons and I just want to talk about three amazing albums. One is well known. I want to end up with that one, but I just want to give attention to these albums, especially the third full-length album by John Norum. Of course, he was the Europe guitar player. He left the band after the final countdown. I think, of course, that album came out in '86. Maybe he left around '87. And this album came out in the mid '90s, in '95, and it's a must-have. I mean, the first album was very commercial. I mean, he left Europe because he was tired to perform the final countdown on TV shows. He wanted to play live shows, more live shows. And also the songs were maybe a little too commercial for him. But then his first solo album is very commercial. His second solo album, has more kind of a blues touch already in it. I think Glenn Hughes, from Deep Purple fame. Nowadays he is in the Dead Daisies, but he was in the band. But here we got a great lineup. It's even more bluesier than the second album, but blues rock, blues hard rock. And we have Kelly Keeling on vocals, and we know him from Baton Rouge. I don't know if you know that band. He also tried to okay, I got confused a little bit there. But this album is dedicated to Gary Moore, and some songs, they remind me of Gary Moore. They could have been from Gary Moore too. But check the song Resurrection Time. That's a great song. And Halfway Home. Halfway Home is probably my favorite song on this album. Yes, it's just a very cool release from the mid-90s, 95. In 96 he made another record, but it was really modern sounding. This is not modern, this is not grunge either, because some people say this is the grunge album, but it's not. It's more blues rooted, album. But still a lot of cool hard rock riffs in it too, because I'm not a big blues fan. That's why this is not pure blues, of course. This is not B.B. King. Okay, another album I want to talk about. This is the second album by the Spanish band Steel Horse, In the Storm. And this came out in 2011. It's a long time ago already. But these guys were part of the new wave of traditional heavy metal. Together with Enforcer, White Wizards, and many other bands that came out like around 2009, 2010, 2011. And this is the second full-length album, and it's better than the debut. I think the debut was also good, but this one is even better. It's pure traditional heavy metal with some speed elements. Here are the guys. Wild Power was the debut album, and this was their second full-length album, but they split up. It's such a shame because it was such a great band. Steel Horse. They just released 2 albums and a 7-inch single. And the third one I want to show, of course, an album that we all know and listen to thousands of times, is And Justice for All by Metallica. What a killer record. This is probably, together with the first 2 albums, my favorite Metallica album. It's just, all the songs are amazing on here. Eye of the Beholder is one of my favorite Metallica songs ever. Dyer's Eve, that he talks about, that James Hetfield talks about his experience with his parents, because his parents really oppressed him a lot. They were like kind of part of a sect, like parents. Of course, the single Harvester of Sorrow. One, that was a big single for the band. Blackened. This is just a great record. The Shortest Straw is also a great song. This is we all have this, but I just played it again in the car recently, and I thought I I want to mention it again, because it's such a great record. I love it. I love it. Okay, stay metal, everybody.